Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone and welcome to today's Studium General and webinar titled Cyberbullying in Education. I am your host Ruby from the Faculty of Psychology Universitas Muria Kudus. I will be responsible for hosting and mediating this webinar today. This webinar is Studium General organized by Faculty of Psychology Universitas Muria Kudus, Indonesia. Of course, we are glad to welcome our presenter and our participant from the College of Art and Sciences of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, specifically from the Social and Behavioral Sciences Department. And also, we would like to welcome all participants from many institutions. Thank you for your excitement in this webinar. Am I being bullied online? How do you tell the difference between a joke and bullying? Who should I talk to if someone is bullying me online? Why is reporting important? I am experiencing cyberbullying, but I'm afraid to talk to my parent and teacher about it. How can I approach them? That was the top question on the UNICEF website about cyberbullying. So, the purpose of this Studium General is to give a little picture of how technology can shape our behavior, which might be good but could turn bad in some other manners. And that's how psychology can present in suggesting the solution for adjusting better. The first agenda is an opening speech from the Dean of Faculty of Psychology Universitas Muria Kudus. For Mrs. Iranita Hervi Mahardayani, a PSI psychologist, the time is yours.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm late ya. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, healthy and happy always. Thank you to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Today is given the opportunity to meet in the virtual room with a pleasant and the spirit of learning. The Honorable to Mr. and Mrs. lecturers of the Faculty of Psychology, to the psychology student who I love and proud, and the honorable speaker on this day, Mrs. Karen Jane Makaso Aquino, RNRPM from NEUS. Thank you for joining us to share knowledge and experience with our students. The good collaboration between NEUS and UMK continues to produce useful activities, and this time is a general webinar with the theme of cyberbullying in education. In this era of globalization, the next generation of the nation is experiencing a moral crisis, where today there are many acts of violence in the world of education, one of which is bullying. It was, as we know, bullying can only be done in the real world, physically. But now, time is getting great and advanced. Everything is all digital and online. Negative behavior, especially cyberbullying, also continues to be performed. It was very sad and need all of our attention. Therefore, this theme we raise today so we can prevent cyberbullying. Okay, I hope this webinar has given us knowledge and insight that we can apply to the community. And finally, I would like to finish this opening with say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hope this event was successful until then finished. Thank you for your attention. Salam Psikologi Bravo. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for Mrs. Hiranita for such a warm speech. And now the next agenda is the presentation of the topic, Cyberbullying in Education, which will be represented by Ma'am Karen Jan Makaso Aquino, RNRPM. Before presenting, let me read the short profile of our presenter today. She is a registered psychometrician as well as a registered nurse. She is currently works as an instructor at Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. She is a member of the Psychological Association of the Philippines, and she graduated with her Master of Art in Psychology with a specialization in developmental or educational psychology from Adamson University in 2018. And welcome, Karen. Congratulations, Karen. She is currently enrolled as Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology major in Clinical Counseling Psychology at Holy Angel University. Once again, congratulations. So for Ma'am Karen, the time is yours.
Good morning, Miss Arcivid. So, am I pronouncing your name right? Thank you. Thank you. So, good morning, Mrs. Iranita Hervey also. So, I would like to say hello to everyone. So, before I share my slides, can you please give me a little time so that we can interact? Can I ask everyone to show their best emoji or emoticon right now to describe what you feel today? So I will know that everyone is still alive and is still listening to me right now. So show me your best emoticon. So I will be sharing mine. So this is mine. This is a heart. How about the others? Oh, I can see Sir Richard already showed that he is smiling. How about the others? Oh, most of the students are actually smiling. Oh, I saw someone that is really sad. It's normal. Our weather here in the Philippines is actually really unpredictable right now. It's really gloomy or it's really sunny. So there, Ma'am Leila showed that she is also in love, and also Dr. Clarinda is showing that. So I was wondering, how about Mrs. Iranita Hervey? What is her emoticon right now? Let's wait for her emoticon. Okay, she's smiling, so I think she's happy right now. So, is it okay if I share my slides right now, Miss Arcivid? My 100 slides, right? Can I share it right now? Thank you.
Yeah.
So did they told you that we're going to be up to 5 p.m. right now? Did they say that? So I guess not. So you are set up right now. So anyway, so good morning. I'm Karen Johnny Makino. So I am actually representing the Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. I'm from the College of Arts and Sciences, specifically at the Social and Behavioral Sciences Department. So I will be talking about cyberbullying. So we all know about the term bullying, but not the term when you actually mix cyber with the bullying. So as you can see right now, I hope you can see my slides. Is my slide visible? Can you see it? Okay. So this is actually a picture that I love. This is the reason I actually posted this, because I think this actually talks a lot. This picture speaks a lot to a lot of people. So it says here, delete cyberbullying. So click with kindness, because most of the time we usually forget about this. We always commented, we always posted, we always liked, we always unliked, but we don't know the repercussions or the consequences of what we do, or what we actually posted or commented to the person who actually was sharing something to online. So let's go with the traditional. This is very traditional. I always say this, maybe you learned this in your elementary days. But let's first talk about cyberbullying. I actually did some research, and I found that I actually researched online about articles about this, and I realized that this has been going on since in 2000. And actually, I saw a research article in 2013 about cyberbullying. So I heard that Miss Arcivid actually talks about UNICEF. Well, actually, UNICEF actually is really fighting against cyberbullying. That's why I actually quoted their definition of cyberbullying, because I think this speaks a lot. So cyberbullying is actually a form of bullying wherein you actually use your digital technology. So you attack someone in terms of the social media sites, and a lot of bullies actually use those as an opportunity to actually shame other people, to scare other people, and to embarrass other people. I always say that it is not really a very intelligent way of dealing with people, because you actually deal with them and you're anonymous and they don't know who they're dealing with. So it's a form of actually being mostly like a scaredy cat. So you're basically afraid when you're bullying someone online. So what else? It says here, I already said about this. It takes place on social media. So I actually read in an article that this is actually a digital bullying. because you're bullying and you're not seeing someone. And the funny thing is, some people who are actually bullies, they don't even know who they're bullying. They don't know the bully. They don't know the victims. They just bully. They just say something bad because of something that they saw online. So this is the sad part. This is actually a repeated behavior. I read in an article actually that they said that you can actually say that someone is bullying you if it takes 6 months. So if you're a bystander of that, if you're actually witnessing something like that, isn't it like your social responsibility to stop it? Do you have to wait for 6 months to say that you're doing something bad to another person? So, and the negative effect of this, the negative reason that they're doing this is they want to scare someone and they want to anger someone and shame. So the reasons are really negative and not mostly positive. So let's go with the difference between cyberbullying and bullying itself. Actually, there's not much. The only difference is that it is actually invasive. Why is it invasive? Because, as we all know, this is really funny because I actually compare Facebook and Instagram. And I realized that Facebook is like a photo diary, wherein you post something and then you tell something about yourself. And it becomes a diary because you tell everything on site. That's why they always say that you have to be very wise in terms of posting. So cyberbullying, but however, Instagram is not like that. It's more of a photo diary because you only post your best pictures in Instagram. And it says here that cyberbullying is invasive because people can actually see everything that you post. So all of your private things, information are there, and they can exploit on that. That's why it becomes really invasive. Unlike when you're being bullied physically, because they don't know anything about it. What else? Cyberbullying can involve a large audience. Actually, I actually read a lot I witnessed some documentary online, and I saw a lot of people who gets involved in terms of bullying online. What do I mean by that? I'm pretty sure a lot of you already witnessed this. When someone posted something online and then another person commented, and then another person commented, and then another one, you don't even know who that person is, and then they're commenting on you. And they're basically attacking something that you say or you posted. So it's already a large audience. It's already a large crowd. You're not just dealing with one person. You're already dealing with a lot of person. And some of them, you don't even know them. But they're actually minding your own business. They're minding your business also. So it becomes like, I always say, it becomes like a cooperation of bullies. It's a collective bullying because a lot of people are already getting involved, and some of them are even strangers. What else? So this is the sad part, guys. Cyberbullying is actually, they have a sense of anonymity because sometimes you don't even know the person. This is true because you can actually create every user accounts in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media accounts. You can actually make a dummy account. So you can make another account and no one will know it's you. So usually we call it, if it's a cell phone, it's a burner phone. Online, it's a burner account. So you can actually do that. And then it's the sad part is that are actually doing that also. That's why we have to be really careful. We really have to be very smart in picking the person that we're actually associated with. So what else? How about bullying? So this is basically the similarities of bullying. So it's basically a power imbalance. Why? You compare the victim and the bully. When someone is a victim, most of the time, they don't have the power to fight back. How about the bullies? They're the ones who are empowered because they know that they are causing harm to another person. So there's a power imbalance because if there's a power balance, then there's no bullying happening. So what else? We have the types of behavior. So most of the time that they are showing, not just the behavior, but the action, it's the same. They want to cause harm, not just on your emotions, but also on your mental health. So, and you know what's the problem with this, guys? Most of the bullies actually also suffer. What do I mean by that? Maybe they're also victims themselves. So they basically adapt that behavior towards the person who bullies them also. So what else? So the reasons for behaving in a bullying way. So there is a specific reason that they are bullying. And most of the time, it's either they are pressured by their friends, they are bullies by themselves also, or most of the time they don't know why they're doing it. Maybe it's just the power tripping, the empowerment, like the feeling of being empowered. However, always remember this: both are wrong. Whatever we say, even we say that those are the differences, similarities, it may sound nice that there's a difference and there's a similarities, but all of them are wrong. Always remember, you don't do something to other people, you don't have the right to make other people feel inferior. So even if we talk about cyberbullying and bullying, the differences and similarities, all of them are basically wrong. So we should know now. So why do they use actually cyberbullying? What is the main reason? What are the culprits? So the first one, actually they can't explain why they are doing it. Most of them, they don't know why they're doing this. They just like doing it, which is really sad because there's no reason. Then why are you doing it? A lot of cyberbullying occurs. Okay, this is really sad. One of the things that I actually think is that most of the time when we do something, we forget about the after effects or the consequences of what we do. Most of the time, because we feel good about what we're doing, we forgot the feelings of other people. And that is also the same with cyberbullying. Like the example that I told you, wherein they actually reacted on the post of another person. And then they forgot that, oh, if I was that person and or the negative, the consequences or how the other person will actually feel. Okay, so another one is what I have been talking about. It creates anonymity. So it empowers the bullies because who's going to blame me? They don't know who I am. I am using a burner account, so they don't know who I am. So of course, sometimes there's a pressure of friends. So sometimes, that's why I always say that you have to pick your friends. If they're asking you to do something bad, then don't do it. They're not really good friends. They're sacrificing you. What else? For others, okay. Some people think that the internet is not the real world. However, always remember this. Not everyone is like that. Some people are too attached on the internet. So how they feel, how other people actually feel towards them. So they are very much attached to that digital world. That's why they get hurt a lot whenever other people posted something, maybe it's a feedback or an insight about what they posted. So we should be very careful because not everyone thinks that internet is not the real world. Some people are really attached with the digital world. So these are basically only a few in which we can actually see cyberbullying actually being taken place. So I actually got this picture because I think this is easier to understand. So the first one is actually harassment. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if some of you actually experienced this, but when you go to your instant messaging and then you saw a message request and then someone is saying bad things about you. So that is actually harassment. When they keep on telling something bad, you try to ignore them, but they kept sending you something. And then some people, if you post something maybe on your Facebook, and they kept on commenting like nonstop, and sometimes it's not really important anymore. Those are actually forms of harassment, and they're not healthy. What else? you have what do you call as the outing. So what is this outing? Okay, guys, be careful with this one, because when I was actually reading this, I was actually also sometimes somewhat guilty. How do I mean by that? When we actually save pictures of other people, you save pictures of other people, that is already not a good thing. And then when you share that picture to a group chat because you think maybe it's funny, or you're showing your friend, oh, this is the person that I want you to talk to. That is already outing because you don't have the permission of the other person. So I'm pretty sure a lot of us somewhat felt guilty about this, especially when some of our friends will be like, can I talk to this person? I don't know her Facebook account. And then what you do, you actually save the picture of that person and then you send it. And then you're like, oh, this is the person that you need to look for the account. Then I just found out it's actually outing. Because even a simple sharing of a picture, when you're finding an information, is already a form of bullying. So aside from that, what else? Actually, I actually heard that when you're outing, most of the reasons that you're doing it is negative. So when you're sharing a picture, be sure just to erase it so that you won't violate anyone's rights. So what else? It says here private information. Maybe you're sharing like the account, like with the email address or the telephone number, especially if you don't have the permission of the person, that is really not a good thing. So another one is the flaming. So what is flaming? So when we talk about flaming, this is basically what? Getting into fights with someone. Oh my gosh, this is really I cannot say it's common because it's not common. I cannot say that it's normal because it's not normal. This is when you're actually talking to someone and then you're picking a fight on someone online. Like when that person actually said something like maybe an idea or an insight, and then you're not agreeing with that person. And then you kept on debating on that person online. Like it becomes really invasive already because the fight is already posted on your wall and you're getting into fights because of that. Aside from that is when you engage messages on that person online, and then the only reason is that you want to debate, and then the debate is really going on the negative side wherein you're already fighting. That is already flaming. So how should I say it's flaming? It's like when you're starting a fire and then you're fanning it, you're adding more you're adding more gas, or you're adding more wind to make it more flammable. So that's a perfect example of flaming. What else? We have the exclusion. When we say exclusion, I don't know if this happens to some people, but I think in some way when you're actually trying to separate another person in your group chat or in your social media accounts, you talk about that person, but you never talk to him there. So you basically separate him, or you isolate that person. So it's like that person is not existing on the group chat, but that person is your topic. So you're attacking that person, but you're not talking about that person. You're not talking to that person. So it's really sad because you're basically isolating that person. So what else? Masquerading. Another example of this is actually the catfishing that is happening on Instagram, wherein people are actually posting pictures that they don't look like. And what else? The identity theft, wherein all of the information online, they just get it, and then they use that account to actually So what I will be showing you next are actually facts. What do I mean by that? Most of this are really real. So there are researches that actually led to these facts. Okay, so the first one, they said that the most common venue of being bullied is actually through instant messaging. So in the social media, we have, in Facebook, in Instagram, in Twitter, you can direct message someone. So I actually looked in Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and I found out that if you don't know the person, there's actually a setting there wherein you can put like a security wherein that person is going to ask for a message request wherein it's up to you if you want to read that message. So I think we should be vigilant with that. If we don't know the person who we are talking to, then maybe we should just ignore the message. So what else? Like I said, it's the Instagram that is always the place of where people are being cyberbullied. Next is Facebook. Why Instagram? Instagram, most of the posts there are only pictures. Lately, I actually saw that you can actually post like I think a 60 seconds video in your Instagram account, but it's always the Instagram because as you all know, cyberbullying actually happens when they see something on you. And the most common thing that is really affected is actually the physical appearance, which is very common when people are posting on their Instagram. It's mostly about themselves. So why did I say that? Why did I relate the physical appearance? Because it is one of the main reasons. Actually, this is the main reason why people get cyberbullied. And to tell you honestly, guys, this is my personal take on this. I'm not going to quote anyone, just my personal take on this. I think when people are bullying you on your appearance, it's actually causing more harm. Why is that? Because our appearances are actually from our genes, and we actually inherited that from our family. And when someone attacked you from what you look like, it's more of like attacking not just yourself but also your family members. That's why a lot of people are really sad when it caused a lot of emotions on people when they get attacked on their appearance, because it's not just theirs, there's also their families. And when I always think that being attacked on your appearance is actually a form of like attacking someone in an immature way, because it's something that you cannot change, and it's something that when you're growing up, they look like. So what else do we have? So we have here, okay, this is the academic side. So when I actually was reading this article by Axel, I was actually all I can say is that it's true, because most of the time, not just the bullying per se, like not just the face-to-face bullying, but also the cyberbullying, it actually, I think it affects more in terms of their concentration and their studies, because 95% of teens right now are very much attached to their cell phone, and they're very much attached to their social media accounts. So admit it or not, if you read something that you don't feel really good about, like when they commented something about you, like maybe a picture, and then someone said that, oh, you look like this or you look like that, I don't like what you look. Most of the time we cannot concentrate because we kept on thinking about what they are saying, what they said about you. So that's why I really agreed with this research with Axel, that it's really hard to concentrate when someone is really attacking you online. And what's really sad is that most of the time some of them are really strangers to you. You don't know who they are. So cyberbullied victims show greater academic difficulties and poorer academic performance. That's why it's most of the time some victims actually resorted to dropouts. So some of them stop schooling, some of them don't want to attend school anymore. I actually thought that cyberbullying is less damaging than the face-to-face bullying. And then I kind of realized that it's basically the same. Because in face-to-face bullying, some people get attacked, they get bruised, they get beat up. Here, it's not just the physical thing that is being attacked, it's also your emotions and the way that you're thinking. That's why most of the people who are actually victims of cyberbullying, they actually don't want to go to school anymore. They would rather drop out. What else? So being okay, when we say simultaneously a victim and a bully, it means that they are not just the bully themselves, they also experience being bullied. So they actually have lower coping skills. What do I mean by this? Actually, Peled, from the study of Peled, it says there that if that person actually transfers to another place, or they went to another place, or there is a major transition in their life, like maybe from high school, then they went to college, it's going to be very difficult for them to adjust because they usually have trust issues with a lot of people surrounding them because they experience being a bully themselves, and they also experience being bullied. So adjustment is really difficult for them. It says here, victimized bully students feel less attached and satisfied with university. What do I mean by this? So you're a victim also of bullying and you're also bullying. So you feel less attached. That's why you don't want to contribute to your university. You don't want to go into activities. So this, according to Bernardo, most of the students who are also like this, they usually resorted to dropping out also because they don't feel that their school actually supports them. So maybe these people, they reported that they were being bullied, but no one paid attention to them. So at the end of the day, they become the bully themselves also. So they basically lost their trust to their university. And this one, okay, 37% out of 4,972 students, they actually are bullied online. So I think this is a heads up to our universities. Maybe it's about time that we actually also do something like this, maybe a survey, to actually get the more clearer picture of our students. And they said that 30% also it happened more than once. So most of the statistics that I am actually showing are international. So these are usually US based. So it says that 30%, so 37, they were bullied, and then 30% out of those 37%, it happened again. So it becomes a cycle. And the saddest part of life, I said, the saddest part of being bullied and being a bully is what? So some of them actually they reported that they actually said something mean to other people and another person. At least they're honest. 23% of them are honest. However, they said that 27% experienced the same from someone else. So basically, it says that another person bullies them again. So did you see the pattern? It's just like a cycle. If you're a bully and then nothing happened, no one paid attention, no one cared, you were bullied, and then the next thing that happened is that you became the bully. And 60% out of 1,000 people actually witness online bullying. And the saddest part is they don't intervene. What do I mean by that? What do we mean by that? They actually don't care. They don't try to stop it. They just watch it, which is the saddest part because always remember we all have social responsibilities to one another. And being silent about something like this is not going to help. So only 1 out of 10 okay. Usually it is not reported. Maybe the fear of like being judged or fear of being blamed by maybe the parent or the trusted adult. It is sad because they are supposed to be the person that we need to talk to first when we are experiencing this. And then 4 out of 5 actually were like, what? They want to intervene. They want to help. The problem is they want to do it in an anonymous way. What do we mean by that? They don't want to be known. And here's the problem. Why do we don't want to be known? Because most of them, they are scared that if they intervene and the bully learn that they are the person who stopped it, the next thing that they know, they will be the one who's going to be bullied. So it's the sad thing. So that's why they would rather help and without the person knowing that they're the ones who are actually helping. What else? So it says here that what this is actually what is really scary because most of those people who experience cyberbullying, they actually have this. They experience self-harm and suicidal behavior. And I actually watched a documentary in YouTube just last night. And most of them, it's not just the suicidal behavior. They actually completed the action. And it's really sad. You know, you can feel the hurt on the parents, on the parents when they actually found out that their kids were actually being bullied. So that's why we have to be vigilant. And of course, 83%, actually most of the people who are actually experiencing this, they think that all the social media platforms should do something about it. That's why I think Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, they already are trying their best to actually do something. Like in the instant messaging, they already have a safety feature, I guess, because of that. So how will I know that I am being bullied? So this is very important. How will I know that I am being bullied? Because sometimes you don't really know. It's like, oh, maybe it's just for fun. Okay, is it a joke? That's the first question. Is it a joke? And like Miss Arcivid, actually, I think she also read the article about the UNICEF. Yeah, and I really like that article. I actually agree with that article. It says that when you can say that it's a joke if it's making you feel happy, you're being uplifted, you're having positive remarks on something, you're being productive. But it becomes bullying when what? It becomes bullying when it's making you feel uncomfortable. Aside from being repeated, it's not comfortable anymore. Like they're just doing it just for fun. They're the ones who are happy and you are not. So it's always like the joke is on you and not on them. So always be it's not being sensitive, it's more of being, knowing your limitations. So if you think that they're already offending you, it's time that you tell them that this is not making me feel comfortable anymore. Maybe you should stop. So again, that's the difference. If it's a joke, it's making you happy. If it's not a joke, if it's bullying, that it's not, you're not comfortable with it anymore. You try to stop it and they kept on going. And you basically experience some of this. This is only a few, but this is actually only, they said that this is sometimes what they experience when they are being bullied. So as you can see, you feel embarrassed, you feel upset. That's what I said. That's why there's a big difference between joking and bullying. So, but what is more important is that the mental health. Because in mental health, when you're being cyberbullied, what happens? So most of the time you feel anxious, you feel ashamed, and there is insecurity already there. So you're very much conscious on what other people are thinking. So maybe in terms of, posting, you become really scared to post because, or, when you're like posting some pictures like that, you're more conscious because you always think that they will say something bad about those things. So instead of finding the online community as a safe haven for you, it becomes like a really scary place already. It's not safe anymore. So what else? Okay. So you don't want to do something that you enjoy doing before. So maybe in some YouTubers like vloggers like that, they love vlogging. They love to talk about their everyday lives. But it tends to be less, they become more unmotivated when people tend to comment negatively on their post. So this is the sad part. They tend to skip school. So, and they turn to vices. And most of the time they failed because, like I said before, you cannot concentrate on your studies because you kept on going back to those comments that those people are telling you. So if I am bullied, what do I need to do? So, okay, ma'am, I admit I am bullied already. I can say that I am bullied because it's been 6 months already and they're not stopping. They kept on commenting. They kept on saying something bad about my post. I don't even know them. What should I do? Okay, this is very common. I always say this. We have to talk to our parents because at the end of the day, they are the person that needs to be more they need to know more about us. They need to actually tell us what to do. Most of the time, our parents are our safe havens. So we say that they are our safe places. So we can talk to them about anything. So most of the students actually, I think that the main reason why some of them they never talk to their parents is because they are scared of the generation gap. They are basically scared that their parents will never understand. But here's my question to you. Did you even try to tell your parents? So you try to tell it first, and then let's see what happens. Because I am telling you, I'm pretty sure that your parents will definitely understand and will definitely help you. And then, of course, you need to talk to someone. So you need to have a friend there who actually understands. So maybe a classmate, maybe a teacher. So actually, your teachers are more than willing to listen to you. You just need to actually give them the opportunity to help you. Because, no one can help us if we don't reach out for other people. So what else? Okay, this is, I think, one of the most important thing. For bullying to stop, it needs to be identified and reported. So, different countries have different laws in terms of cyberbullying or bullying itself. Here in the Philippines, we have. I'm pretty sure in your country you also have. And aside from that, if it happens in the university, I'm pretty sure you have policies in your universities in terms of bullying. And that is also the same with our university. So that's why I don't talk about the laws and the policies, because I'm pretty sure we have the same, reason that we're doing it, but just, different approach to it. So we need to identify that we are being bullied, and we have to report, because I kept on saying this, no one will know that you are being bullied if you don't report it, if you don't talk about it. So, and aside from that, if the person is bullying you, you can actually tell that person to stop, because how will he know that he actually how will that person, he or she, knows that you are already being offended if you don't talk about it? So you need to identify and you need to report it to someone. And then, of course, the pause. So what do I mean by pause? This is actually the social media you have to stop. You have give yourself time to heal. If you're very much hurt with what other people are saying, there's no harm in pausing. So that's why we call it the social media break. So you can stop. You can actually take a break from the social media. If it's too much, hurtful, if you feel really hurt about what other people are saying, then you just, pause for some time. In Instagram, I think they already have this feature wherein you can disable other people's comments. So just for your mental health, just to take care of your mental health, you can actually do that. You can actually mute other people. You can actually unfollow other people, or you can actually unmute or remove the comment section. Because honestly, no one needs to say something bad about it. It's your own account. You're not, as long as you're not hurting other people, there's nothing wrong with that. And it says here, you have to think before you post. Always remember, the difference with cyberbullying and the face-to-face bullying is that cyberbullying actually it's actually leaving a footprint. So what do you mean by that? There is always the trace. So even if you take down the post, there is always someone who actually screenshots it. Someone already will share it again. So we have to think first. We have to be mindful on what we are posting online. So especially, I said before that Facebook becomes like a diary to everyone. However, we should try to be more smart in whatever we posted, because some people can actually capitalize on that and use that in their advantage to hurt us. This is actually, I tried to look for this actually, but I realized that they only post this in 2013. And I'm not sure if other people are using iPhones. Maybe you can see this emoji. Actually, this emoji is about bullying. iPhones already had this before in the year 2013 as their campaign for anti-bullying. and it means I am a witness. So they said that if they use this as an emoji and sending it to someone, that means that they witness something. They want to talk. They want to help another person. So I just wish that they bring this back on their emojis and even on Android phones, so that we can help other people also, and not just be silent about bullying. And if you notice that a friend is actually being bullied, there is nothing wrong with actually being there for that person, listening for that person. So you have to be say this to other people before you commented, before you post something, before you reacted. There is actually a person who told me this, that it is better to be reflective than be reactive on a lot of things. What do I mean by that? Before we react, we have to first think, am I doing this to hurt other people? Is this if are my comments going to hurt another person? So it's better to be reflective first. Let's reflect on it first before we say it, rather than being reactive. And before I end my discussion or my topic, this is I think my ending speech. So the first line of defense against cyberbullying could be you. So that means if you're the victim of bullying, you should speak. You should tell someone that you're being bullied. If you know someone that is being bullied, you do the social responsibility of reporting and helping that. Because at the end of the day, it's always us who needs to defend not just ourselves, but also other people who cannot speak for themselves. So with that, I end my discussion. So thank you for listening and have a great day, everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Ma'am Karen, for an outstanding presentation. Oh, I'm so speechless right now. Now we will open a session of discussion. Please write your question in the chat box.
I would like to apologize, Ms. Arcivit, if I extended the time. I'm
It's
really
okay.
sorry.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
No
really
problem.
sorry.
It's very interesting to talk about cyberbullying actually, because maybe we experience it one time in our life. So please write your question in the chat box. Okay. I think I will read some of the question. The first question is from Miniatul. Okay. How can I help my friends report a case of cyberbullying, especially if they don't want to do it? That was the first question.
Sorry,
How
if they don't want to
do it? So they don't want to
I
do it. Yeah, they don't want to report a cyberbullying case, but his friend or her friend is want to help her. That was
okay,
the first question.
so honestly, the mere fact that they listen to their friend, they're already helping that person. So sometimes it's really sad when victims are, they cannot express, maybe they're scared. However, by just listening to that friend, you're already helping that person. I think we cannot actually tell them we have to do it. We cannot force them to do what they don't like, as long as you're actually listening to them and you're already there for them. That's already helping them. We have to wait for them for the time that they can actually fully tell the details of the incident. But until then, we cannot force them to talk. The only thing that we can do is actually listen and we have to be vigilant. We have to actually be more protective with them. So don't pressure yourself about it. The mere fact that you're listening to your friend is already helping them.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Thank you, Ma'am Karen. And the next question is from Maria. Is there a punishment for cyberbullying?
Honestly, I wish they have. I wish they have.
The
But
same question.
yeah, the same answer, right, Miss Arcivid? I wish they have. I think here in the Philippines we already have the Anti-Bullying Act. So I think it's already being done. However, it really depends on the country. I said we vary. And if you're a student and you're actually violating the policies in your university, I'm pretty sure there is a sanction on that. It's either suspension or being kicked out. So I hope no one here gets to have that how should I say this, that sanction. So in every country there is actually definitely a sanction for that, and a penalty, and also with the universities. So yes, I think. Okay. I think there's actually a question here. So it says here, can cyberbullying be prevented by limiting the post we share on social media? Because it was explained earlier that appearance is one of the reason people get bullied. So actually, there's nothing wrong with posting, and if you're actually comfortable with limiting your post, that's fine. Um, when you say that, yes, I think you can actually prevent it too by limiting. However, the thing is that I always say this. I always say this, that it is your own social media account. So I think the only way that you can actually do that is maybe turning off the comment section if you're not really how should I say, comfortable with people posting under your picture, or you can actually be more I think conscientious with what you post. As long as always remember this, as long as you're not hurting other people, there's nothing wrong with your post. I think the only reason why people get hurt online is sometimes some other people are really conscious about it when you're not really conscious, because you just want to express what you think. So always be mindful that before you post, as long as you're not hurting other people, there's nothing wrong with posting. So I don't think you should limit your post, but maybe in order for you to not be hurt with what other people are saying, maybe you should be more conscious, and maybe you can actually, turn off the comment section if you're very much conscious with what they said.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Karen. Let's wait for a moment for another question, I think. Uh, this is the next question from Elvira. Hey, my name is Vira. I want to ask something. Who should I talk to if someone is bullying me online? Why is reporting important? I think
Okay.
actually uh, this answer in your matter, but it's okay to answer again.
Okay, it's okay. So, like I said before, the very first thing that you should do, I think, is to report it to your parents, because your parents needs to know what is happening to you. So, and then, like I said, to your friends, you can talk to someone, and maybe it just came to me, Miss RCV, that I think one person that you can actually also talk to is your guidance counselor. So that's why guidance counselors are really important to have in your university, because if you don't have anyone to talk to, like you don't have a friend or your parents seem so busy, you can talk to a guidance counselor. And it is very important that you need to report it to make it stop. Like I said, bullying cannot be stopped if you don't report it. So the mere fact that you're really quiet about it, you're basically empowering the bully to do it again. So you have to report it to make it stop.
I agree with that. We have to report it to stop the cyberbullying. I think this is maybe the next and the last question, or are you okay with the next question? Okay, is this the last question?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think
Okay,
this will be the last, I think.
okay. Maybe this is the last question. From Savitri Salsa Salisa, she asks, how to respond to someone who does cyberbullying but hides behind the word freedom of opinion? Thank you. I think this is the
Okay.
interesting question because
Yeah.
most of us say that it was my freedom of opinion to express my feeling, my talk about something, but maybe they don't even realize that that was a cyberbullying actually.
Okay. So actually, when I read the question, I smiled. Why did I smile? Because I said finally someone talk about the freedom of expression, because it has always been the topic. Like, I'm just expressing myself. Why are you hurt? I'm just expressing myself. Here's the question. Are your opinions important to that person? Are your opinions um are your opinions matter? Problem is, like I said a while ago, we have to be more reflective first. So let's think first about something before we speak. So let's not be more active. Let's be reflective. So as long as your opinion, I always say this, if your opinion matters, that's fine. If your opinion makes other people okay, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to hide behind the freedom of opinion notion, because not everyone is actually allowed to express their opinion if it's too hurtful to other people. Always remember that. So um when your opinions matter, that's fine. The problem is that if it's hurtful to another person, then it's not okay. So we cannot always say that it's just my opinion. No, your opinion actually hurts another person. So we have to be more reflective on whatever we say before we reacted. Because like I said a while ago, some people actually thinks that the internet is the real world. So we cannot say that they are sensitive, because sometimes their social media sites are actually their accounts are very personal to them. So we cannot always say that I'm just expressing my opinion. It's not expressing your opinion. You're hurting another person.
Almost all of this I agree with you, Miss Karen. uh, Actually, there is another question. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. I just wondering what is the very this is question from Salsabila Auralia Marta. Okay, I will repeat the
Okay.
question. I just wondering what is the very common motive from someone who is a bully? I mean, it can hurt someone emotionally and even physically. Thank you. The very common motive.
um so I think this is only from what I can talk about from the articles that I actually read, is that most of the time it gives them power. So it empowers them. So some people are actually, when they feel empowered about something, they want to continue doing it. There is the hype, like it makes them feel good to actually have other people feel inferior. So I think it's that, like the power to actually step on another person. And then sometimes I actually read somewhere that there is actually what we call as the inferiority. So sometimes they themselves feel inferior. So in order for them to have that power, they actually belittle another person so they can feel powerful.
Thank you, Ma'am Karen. I think that was the last question, but we have another opinion here from Mr. Harold. Am I right? Uh, One
Yes,
of the
yes,
probable reasons for bullying and on social media is the people inferiority conflict. To
yes,
boost their
yes.
self-esteem,
I
they need
think
to humiliate other people. I think almost
yes.
all of us agree with his opinion.
Yes, yes. I actually agreed with Sir Harold that yes, sometimes it becomes a self booster for other people to, it makes them feel worthy of something. So yeah, however, it's in a negative way.
Okay, thank you from Ma'am Karen and Sir Harold. And the answer from Ma'am Karen is as well as conclude this session of discussion. It's okay, Ma'am Karen? There is Ma'am Karen. I think we still reach her. a minute. Maybe we can wait.
My parents or my religion or my ethnic, but it's possible that by reporting if they can change.
Okay, from your question in terms of the online community, like the gaming, right? So I actually have I have how should I say this? I have encountered people who actually do play games online, and they said that yeah, there are actually curses and some are really in a negative way. I think you can basically report that. From what I know, you can report them on your on the gaming community, and then they can get banned, because I think it's part of like the clause before you actually become a member of that online community, wherein you cannot say those things. So you can report them immediately to the administrator, and they can actually remove that. So I think that is actually the initial action that you should do. You can report them so that they can be banned.
But is it possible that by reporting if they can change?
You know, that's the problem, I think, because most of the time, even if you report them, that's why I said that, you know, bullying becomes a form of, and cyberbullying is becoming an anonymous type of bullying, because no one gets to know who that person is who the bully is. So we cannot actually force someone to change, but they can learn their lesson by being banned on the community. So we cannot, I'm really sorry, but we cannot change them, because change comes from the person. So it's up to that person to change. But the only thing that you can do is to teach them a lesson by being banned on your online gaming community.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. Thank you for that question also.
Okay. So is the answer from Ma'am Karen is answer your question, Avicenna? I think yes. Okay. Before I close this session of discussion, I will offer the last chance to ask your question, maybe Karen. Is there any other question? You can write in chat box or you can open your mic. No? It's enough? There's no more question? Maybe we have some quite surprise question from the other participant.
Or maybe they're hungry already. They may be hungry already. It's we think it's already 11. Why are they not yet done? I said it's up to 5 p.m., right?
Yeah. Oh.
I think there's not, no one is asking on the chat room.
Yes. There is no one asking in the chat box. Okay, I think this is the end of the session of discussion. So everybody, thank you very much for your participation in this webinar. Before we approach the closing, I need to remind you to fill out the attendance from the link on the chat book, I think, that I already shared in the chat book. Yes, make sure you fill out the attendance correctly, because that information will be written in your A certificate. Thank you. Now we will take a picture together. So to all participants, please open your camera and give us your best smile. Okay. Are we ready? Oh, we will wait for a moment. Are we ready? Okay, I will count in 1. Oh, we will wait for a moment. Okay. 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 I will count 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there is so many participants. I think this is the last one. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Is that all? Okay. Thank you. Okay, the last agenda is announcing the lucky participant that get the door prize. Yes, there is door prize, but I think maybe there will be a problem if the winner is from Neus.
Oh no.
Okay, 34. Who is the lucky one? That was
Wow.
Saadatul Mukaromah. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, Saadatul Mukaromah. The next one. Okay, 15. Who is the lucky one? The 15 is Zahwa Aulia Al-Fatika. Okay, the last one. Okay, who is the last one? The last one is Nurani Nanda Widyaneng. Okay, that's all the lucky participant who get the door prize for today webinar. Congratulations for the winner and the lucky one. You can contact us for getting your door prize. Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I think we come to the end of our studium general for today. For the conclusion, cyberbullying is bullying with the use of digital technologies. It can take place on social media, messaging platform, gaming platform, and mobile phone. It is repeat behavior aimed at scaring, injuring, or shaming to those who are target. Example include spreading lies about or posting embarrassing photo or video of someone on social media, sending hurtful, abusive, or threatening message, image, or video via messaging platform, impersonating someone and sending mean message to other on their behalf on the fake account. This is the most common case, yeah, Karen. And the form of familiarity with technology use and the internet which facilitate animals so not be used as a shield to do any harm to others. Again, using everything in moderate and mental health awareness need to be promoted to avoid more harm such as cyberbullying. Face-to-face bullying and cyberbullying can often happen alongside each other. But cyberbullying leaves a digital footprint, a record that can prove useful and provide evidence to help stop the abuse. So please be wise. On behalf of the Faculty of Psychology, Universitas Muria Kudus, and our presenter, thank you very much for joining us today. And have a great rest of your day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Psikologi Bravo.